Hey there guys, it's time for me to give you another anime review. And this one's pretty recent in fact, and it's going to be my review of Ghost in the Shell of Wise, the entire series in fact, because I've watched all 4 of the main OVAs, episodes 9 and 10 of the Alternative Architecture show, and as of just recently, last Saturday, I went to the cinemas and watched the new movie, the conclusion to the franchise, courtesy of the Japanese Film Festival in fact. So that was pretty cool. So without further ado, let's get on with the show. The plot for Wise is, for the lack of a better word, weird? Yeah, weird's a good word for it, because, well, it's essentially a prequel showing how Public Security Section 9 was formed and how Major Madoka Kusanagi encounters each member and recruits them, but otherwise it has absolutely no connection to Stanley Complex or the original films. Which is pretty odd with a setup like that, but otherwise it's pretty solid. Not like the best installment in the entire franchise like the original films of Stanley Complex was, and those are one of my favorite animes of all time, but that's for another video. But otherwise, it still contributes a lot of stuff, a lot of interesting world building and plot lines, and sure, some stuff gets really overly convoluted and the politics are just way too complicated that I clearly can't grasp my head around it, but otherwise, it's pretty solid and I still enjoyed what it had to give, even with all those changed character designs and backstories and so forth. So yeah, it's still pretty good. It's still pretty much Ghost in the Shell, which is what's important. The art and animation was pretty good. I mean, it's production IG. I have yet to watch anything from them that's really disappointed me, so yeah, it's pretty par on course for them. As for the soundtrack, well, yeah, it wasn't particularly as memorable or stood out as much compared to Stanley Complex in the original films, which had some really great composers behind them, I should say. This one just didn't really do anything for me at all. Like, it was still good and still had fit the show's tone and atmosphere, but otherwise, just wasn't as great. Sad to say. On the subject of the English dub, well, Funimation decided to follow suit with the Japanese, which meant that no one from Stanley Complex's cast reprised their roles. Well, I say that technically because the major voice actor from that show, MacLeod, ended up, well, voicing an entirely different role in this show as a small little casting gag to fans of Stanley Complex. She voiced Kuretsu, the Major's old friend and boss from her old unit. And she does a pretty damn good job with the role. I mean, she's a pretty strong actress in general, so it's not a big surprise. And as for the Funimation cast of the new Section 9, well, they're all pretty damn good and fit their roles to a T. And the most notable being Elizabeth Maxwell as the new voice of the Major, and she does, well, a pretty great job with the role and makes it her own for this installment of the franchise. So, yeah. I should also note at the time of making this video that I hadn't watched all of the Wise series in its English dub form yet because the dub for Pyrophoric Cult has yet to be released, and the dub for the new movie has been released, but it's only available in cinemas in the US. So, well, what are you gonna do? And yet the Japanese cast is pretty good, so I just feel like noting that for anyone who's curious. So, yeah. On the whole, Ghost in the Shell of Wise was a pretty interesting and generally worthy addition to the franchise. I mean, sure, it does not reach the heights that Stanley Complex in the original films did, and it can be a bit too overly confusing and, well, action-packed for its own good, but I still liked what it had to contribute, and what it did contribute was some pretty interesting and thought-provoking material. And it was a pretty great experience in itself since it led to me watching my second anime film in theaters, which was much better than the first time. Well, the first time. That'll be for another video, I swear. So yeah, you should definitely go give it a watch, but not before watching the original films in Stanley Complex because those are just way infinitely better, but you know what I mean. And you could go watch the TV edit of the show, the Alternative Architecture series on Anime Lab right now if you're feeling so inclined. So yeah, so that's about it for this week's review, guys. I'll be making more videos in the future. My next one should be a review of Persona 4 the animation, so that will be fun. And well, until next time, cheerio, and so let's get straight to the point. Here's another Quickie Reviews episode, because clearly all of you wanted that more than you wanted my Higurashi dub video, as indicated on Twitter, because everyone voted for that.